Hi my YouTube friends. I want to do a video tonight and I'm a little reluctant to do it because it's going to take a little bit of courage, but I want to tell you that even if you think someone is really great at keeping succulents, we all still make mistakes. And so I want to show you something that's happened with a few of my succulents and I'm really worried about it, and I'm going to tell you what I did. So let me go ahead and pan over to what I'm talking about. So this is my quarantine area right now, and these succulents look terrible. And I know what you're probably thinking, that they're covered in mealybugs because you see this white stuff, but that's not what it is, and I'm going to tell you what's going on. So when I first started, I inspect my succulents every day, and one day I started inspecting them and I saw these little white speckles around the sides, and like this one I haven't done anything to. So this is actually kind of what it looked like to begin with, and then I have another one over here that's the same that I haven't done anything to yet. So you see I saw these little weird speckles, like brown white speckles. So I use systemic pesticide on all my plants, so I know it's not mealybugs, I know it's not scale. And so what I've come to find out is that I believe it is a type of fungus. I think it's powdery mildew. And what you're seeing on these succulents right now, this one actually didn't look too bad until I decided to do this home remedy, which is where you spray it down with diluted milk. So you take milk and mix it with a little bit of water, spray your plants down. I did it with this one, that one. And so that's why you're seeing all this, this one. Now this one, you can really see just all this kind of scaly stuff on it. And then I sprayed this one with milk too, which is why you see all this kind of stuff, but that's not mealybugs. So anyway, after the milk spray didn't work, I did the second thing that I heard people talk about online, where they said to dilute some hydrogen peroxide and spray them. And I did that as well. And I want to admit that I did it, and I didn't take my plants out of the sunlight. And I think that may have been a big mistake, because this was such a beautiful plant. This is my Echeveria barbillion. This was one of my favorite plants ever. And it looks so sad right now. You know, the first thing I noticed was what looked like crown rot. However, it's not going to die. I can tell it's going to make it. It has lost a few leaves, but I know it's going to make it at this point. But my plant at this point, because the hydrogen peroxide thing did not work either. In fact, it kind of looked like it made some burns on the plant, to be honest. After I did it, I noticed little places on my plants where they looked burnt. So my third thing that I'm going to do, yeah, it's totally burnt. So the next thing I'm going to do is something that is specifically for fungus. So I'm going to use neem oil spray, and I'm going to actually do what everyone has told me to do and go ahead and spray them, but then keep them out of direct sunlight while they are recovering. So I want to show you what this looks like right now. So here's my barbillion. She does not look good, and look at her new growth. I'm so sad about this. This is an Echeveria Debbie, which already lost some leaves, but you can see this does not look normal. This is I want to say Valeria, Echeveria Valeria, and most of the white stuff you're seeing right now, that's actually from the milk, but just never really looked good. And I just pulled off some leaves that were, had spots all over, like this. So I had some leaves that had so many spots they just fell right off. Oh, this fire glow is horrible. So look at this. So yeah, anyone can make mistakes. Like some of these you can wiggle them enough and they just come right out, but I think I've pretty much done that with most of the ones that are bad. This is a Dick's Pink that I got from a beheading, and it was doing so great. And this is a Gibiflora that I got from a friend, but I believe this is powdery mildew, and I'm not an expert, so if any of you guys think it's something else, please let me know. This is a Echeveria Tasha, and I'm seeing this weird stuff here. So, you know, they're all treated by the systemic. Yeah, that's everything. So it's just these guys. So anyway, they're all treated by the systemic. So I know it's not mealybugs, but what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to spray them with the neem oil. And I'm going to take them out of all sunlight and just kind of watch them for a few days and see what happens. So this is kind of documentation, not just for me, but also because I'm going to post it online. And I really don't want to, but at the same time, you need to know that we're always going to make mistakes. And when I started with succulents, I killed lots of them, and it's just going to happen. But this still happens even when you think you know what you're doing. So I've never dealt with this, and from what I've been told, this is something that just happens when there's a transitional season, like, you know, from spring to summer. There's a lot of humidity. You know, you spray down all the plants in the greenhouse. There's just tons of humidity. And even though I've got the fans running, you know, the fans are running right now. And if these fans right here run if it gets above 75 degrees. So it's not like they don't get ventilation, but I'm going to go ahead and spray them with neem oil, and then I'm going to give you an update on how they look a little bit later. But I just want you to know that, yes, we all have plants that don't do well, and just because you see all our really pretty plants, it doesn't mean that we don't have ones with problems. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this now and spray them, and then we'll go from there. So I haven't sprayed anything yet because I went through every single one of my plants and wanted to do a better inspection, and I found a couple other ones that I'm gonna treat. So got this guy. It was actually a beheading and grew into two really pretty plants. It's a cast hybrid, just lots of little deformities. And then of course, at the new growth, you can see it's got what looks like crown rot. And then this guy doesn't look really bad. Sorry, the fans just came on, but you can see all those little speckles and stuff at the end. And another one, can't remember if this was in the original video, but I'm gonna try to take care of this one because I see, if you look really close, there's some stuff on the outer leaves. And then a Riviera with some crown rot. And I don't know what this is, but it clearly has something going on. And then finally an Echeveria Cupid, same thing, crown rot. I'm not overwatering these guys. In fact, some of them really need water, but I'm gonna try the neem oil, and you know, it might kill them. This is a a red prince. So it could kill everything. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm gonna show you the stuff that I'm using. So here's what I'm using, you guys. I'm gonna try this stuff. It's the main ingredient is neem oil, as you can see. But I'm still debating on whether I'm going to dilute it or not. So I'm gonna let you know what I do, but I'm gonna do it tonight. And then after a few days, keeping them out of sunlight, I'm going to take another video and show you how they're doing, and we'll go from there. So wish me luck. All right, so I just sprayed everything down, and I want to tell you that this neem oil stuff stinks. I don't know what it smells like. It smells like some sort of old food or something. But anyway, what I want to do real quick is just go through each plant and kind of film what it looks like before. That way I have good documentation. So there's our guys, and what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to take them either under the gazebo or in the house and let them do whatever they need to do for a few days. Just kind of soak this up. I'm not going to water them. Just going to monitor, and we will see what happens. So if this neem oil kills everything, well, I won't be happy, but I don't want these guys in my collection because they're gonna spread it. So anyway, I will let you know what happens, and I'll give you an update soon. All right. right, everybody, I'm back, and the day that I sprayed these guys with neem oil was the 14th, and today's the 23rd, so it's been 9 days. I haven't watered any of these guys, and I've kept them out of direct sunlight under my gazebo in some shade, and for the most part, I think this was a success. However, I think I'm going to treat them again a little bit longer, but I'm going to go through and just show you how everything looks now. You know, it looked pretty horrible before, and I'm not saying it looks great now, but it is showing some promising results. So let's just start with the barbillion. So obviously we lost our farina, but I can see the new growth looks good. There's all this damaged stuff coming out, which I'm fine with that, as long as the new growth is looking good, and it really is. So I'm just glad it's not going to die, but I want to spray it again just to make sure. This guy, he's still got the spots, and I think that's from when I sprayed the hydrogen peroxide and the burns. But again, the new growth looks good, so I'm not worried. The Valeria, looking a lot better. The bottom leaves are still thin, but that's why I said for some of these I'm going to spray them again. They don't look perfect, but what I like to see is good new growth, and I definitely didn't want anything to look worse. Fireglow, you can definitely tell how good the new growth is compared to the old stuff. That was all that weird black stuff that I saw at the very beginning. And what I'll probably do when I make this video is try to superimpose what it looked like before and after. That way you can kind of compare the two. The Dick's Pink from the beheading, you see all these spots, but they're, you know, they're solid. The leaves are solid, and the new growth looks wonderful, so I like that. The Debbie looks great. There's a little burn mark there, but it actually grew quite a bit, and the new growth really looks good. The Morning Dew, which is one of my Korean hybrids, still has this stuff on the outer leaves right here, but I think it's going to shed these. And again, the new growth looks great, and that's my biggest concern. Now this Afterglow, which was just a baby, is not looking the best. However, if you can see close enough, the new growth does look like it's coming out better. This was that unknown Giviflora, and it did lose some bottom leaves, because remember I showed you how scaly they were. Some of them you just tap them and they'd fall off after the treatment. These ones haven't yet. This one's got a little bit, but it's got some new leaves coming and they look great, so I'm happy. And eventually, since it's going to be kind of tall, I will behead it, but right now I'm going to let it recover. So after today, I'm going to spray them again, or after this video, I'm going to spray them again. Still keep them in the shade. A couple of them are floppy and need a little bit of water, so I may give them a little bit of this. This guy looks pretty good. There are those spots, but I think that's probably just going to be left over. New growth looks good. Here is that Riviera that had that weird looking crown rot stuff. So you can see that the crown rot is now further out and the new growth is coming in clean. So I like that. And this Red Prince really looked horrible, and it really actually still looks horrible here on the outside. But you can see the center, new growth, I'm happy. The Cupid, again, that weird stuff, but the new growth is coming out, so eventually these leaves will get further and further away and they'll be shed. So I'm just happy I saved it, and plus I didn't even know, but she's got a baby underneath there. And then finally, this thing, I still don't have an ID on this, but you have definitely got these spots still here. There's no farina, so that's why I'm touching it. I don't really care, because I'm not going to mess anything up at this point. But if you look deep inside there, and it may be hard to see here, but the new stuff doesn't have that. So I can definitely do an update in a future video, but I wanted to go ahead and show you the results right now and upload this. But I will keep you updated if you guys are interested in seeing how these guys go. And of course, in some of my future videos, you may just happen to catch some of these when I'm showing plants. So I want to say overall the neem oil was successful, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a longer process of recovery, but my biggest concern was that these plants were going to die, And now I don't feel like any one of them is going to die. Not even the saddest looking one, which is the afterglow. And afterglows are really sensitive. Their leaves are really thin, really sensitive. So if this one isn't going to die, I think the rest are going to make it. And I'm super happy because I was the most worried about my barbillion. And I'll show you a picture of how it used to look. It was so beautiful. And then I'll show you a picture of what it looked like before treatment and now. And I'm going to try to superimpose each one of them. But overall, I think it was a success. And after I turn this video off, I'm going to spray them one more time and give them a little bit longer. But I now feel confident that this was the right treatment for them and that they're going to recover. So anyway, if you guys like my videos and you want to see more stuff, definitely subscribe, and then you'll be notified every time. Well, actually, if you subscribe and hit the bell, you'll be notified every time I make a new video. But I love making videos, and I'd love to make videos on things you guys are interested in. But I also want to do some informative ones like this just for, you know, troubleshooting, because this is something I haven't really ever dealt with before. And like I said, I'm assuming it's fungus, and that's how I've treated it, and it seems to be working. But only time will tell in the long run. So I will let you know if something else comes about with these. And anyway, so subscribe if you like my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.